Hey guys, I'm your Sunday girl. My name is Simone. I'm 18. I'm from Australia. A little bit about myself. I'm queer. Check the rainbow flag. I'm studying to be a makeup artist and I'm really into piercings and tattoos. So this week's topic is coming out stories, so I guess I'll tell you mine. I guess I've always had an inclination towards girls. I remember in year 3 I told my mum I want to marry my best friend, and my mum said, girls don't marry girls. And that was the first time I experienced inequality, whether I realised it or not. Then I should probably tell you a little bit about my upbringing. My mum is a religion teacher, and my dad is a very conservative Catholic man. So I was taught that gays are an abomination and they're totally going against what God would want for them, and I wasn't even allowed to say the word gay in my house growing up, so I was a very good little Catholic girl. Then came high school, and I remember the first fight I ever had with my best friend was telling her that God hates gays and gay sex is disgusting and, gays will never be allowed into heaven. And I was just very narrow-minded, and that's all I ever knew. Then in year 9, science, a little bombshell was dropped into the seat next to me. She was tiny and beautiful, a little rebel. And I was like, wow, I cannot concentrate. I just had to look at her. And she was like nothing I'd ever seen before, no one I'd ever experienced before. And she was my first girl crush. From that point onwards, I tried not to let my mind wander to her, but it was basically impossible. Then she got a pixie cut, and I just died. I remember telling myself over and over again, you're not gay, you don't like girls, you're not gay. And so I went through this really low period where I couldn't accept who I was and I hated myself because I knew the truth. But that's a story for another time. Things really went downhill from there and I ended up in hospital, but that's actually where I met this amazing girl. She just had this aura about her that she did not give a fuck. She wore what she wanted, she cut her hair short, and I had an inkling she was gay. So I was just mesmerized by her. We had these awesome life-changing conversations, and she told me about having 2 mums, and we connected over our love for Tegan and Sarah. And one day she just asked me, like, so what do you like? And for the first time I told the truth, and I just said, I love love. I believe love between anybody is the same. And so I guess I like girls. And that was a real moment for me because I was so scared about what people would think, and she took it without a blink of an eye, and she just started telling me about her ex-girlfriends. So even though I knew I could tell people the truth, I was struggling with it. So I continued to date guys, and my relationships just didn't last that long because I just really wanted a girlfriend and they could not satisfy that. And so by this point I'd started uni, and on the sign-on day there was this little group in the corner having a rainbow unicorn and glitter picnic under the tree, and I was immediately attracted to them, and that's where I met the QT Queer Collective. They showed me how to be proud of who I was and more open to other queers, and they got me started going to meetups and parties and rallies. And the first rally I went to was for marriage equality, and I took the girl from hospital. And the absolute pride and passion of everyone there just inspired me to keep going to rallies and marches and becoming more and more proud of who I was. So I finally became more accepting of who I was and became a lot more happy. So eventually my mum was like, hey, so you're really into gay rights and marriage equality. Any reason for that? And I was like, yep, just really important to me, really relevant. And she asked me who I identified with, and I just couldn't tell her. I'd just make a joke and change the subject. And I did this for months and months. And then finally I told her I identified as queer. She took it really well and has been really supportive since. And it was a real relief. But I knew she had her views against it. And one night I heard her on the phone to my grandma telling her the news and saying she shouldn't expect grandchildren from me, but that there was therapy that could get me out of the mindset. And I was really shocked because I knew her views about it, but I didn't realize she thought that there was something wrong with me, and it was something that therapy could work out of me. Then she finally told my dad, and he came and spoke to me one night, and he goes, "Now Simone, I hear you've been having these thoughts about girls." I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Well, you know, if you pursue those thoughts, nothing good will ever come of you. You'll make it nowhere in life. No one will ever love you. And it's definitely not what God or the church or I will ever approve of." And so basically he was in denial and taking it pretty badly. So I said sorry, and he turned away and he didn't want to hear about it again. Until recently, I went to another marriage equality march and brought home this mega rainbow flag. And he yells out, "That better be from a Jamaican rally." So he hasn't really accepted it, and that's okay because it takes time for people to accept these things, and I won't ever ask for him to approve because I know he has his own views. So finally I came out to my friends, and most of them are guys, so they were like, "Oh, cool, a lesbian." But the girls I went to school with were a lot more conservative, and they were kind of shocked and grossed out. So yeah, that's my coming out story. I'd love to hear yours. You can send them to my personal Tumblr, libertine.tumblr.com. Or if you need advice, I'm here for you. So have a good day, guys. Bye.